So you've decided you're going to do a brand new basement suite from scratch. Now, this can be a daunting process. There's a lot of steps involved, lots of inspections involved. We're going to break this down for you to make it as simple as possible. So it's going to be bite-sized pieces. You've got a clean slate, you've got an unfinished basement. Where do you start? You need to figure out your floor plan. This is all on you, or you can hire a designer to develop a floor plan. You're going to submit this to the city to get your building permit so that you can start your project. Now, you have your building permit in place. You waited for the permits to go through the approval process. You're ready to start framing according to your plans. Now, either you or your contractor are going to start framing the project. You need to make sure you understand the codes. So the minimum code that the city is going to be looking for is if you're building a basement suite, all your bottom plates of your framing need to be pressure treated, or if you're using untreated lumber, they need to have a sill plate on the bottom so that the lumber is not in direct contact with the concrete or masonry. So once you've done your framing, then you move into your trades rough-ins essentially. So I always like to say, you start from big to small. So you go from your HVAC, which have your large ductwork and piping, then you go to your plumbing with your big black drain pipes, and then you go to the small stuff, which is all the wiring, which can be easily fished around. So you go framing, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and at each stage you will have inspections. So you finish your framing, after that you'll have your trade. Your first trade will come in, you'll have your HVAC. And you do your HVAC inspection, your contractor should be pulling the mechanical permit and you need to pass the inspection. And then you move on to your plumbing. The plumber is going to do all the work, all the necessary code requirements, which include a backflow valve on the main sewer line, and the city will pass if it's up to code. And then you move on to your electrical. And once your electrician runs all your wiring for your basement suite and everything is tied into the electrical panel and a load calculation is done to ensure that the electrical panel and service can handle both units, then you will get your approval for the electrical permit. Now, after all your trades inspections have been done, then you will have your building rough-in inspection. So this is the stage where if you pass this inspection, you're ready to start closing up the walls. So during your building rough-in inspection, the city is going to look for a few things. They will be inspecting your framing. They will be looking at all the work done by all the various trades and doing an overall inspection. They'll be looking for the installation of your solid core doors for your entrance to the basement suite, as well as your solid core door for the mechanical room, which has to be on a self-closing hinge. The city will also ensure that there are railings in place for the stairwell coming into the basement suite. And if you have an exterior entry, they'll be looking to make sure that the exit is protected by way of a shelter or something of that sort. Now that you've just passed your rough-in inspection, it's time to close the walls, as they call it in the construction industry. Now you're going to start getting your finish work or your finish trades in. So this is when you'd start off with your drywalling for your basement suite, drywall, mudding, taping, painting. And then after that, typically your door casings, all your window trims and jambs get installed. And then after that, you would start, all the painters would come in, paint all your walls and doors. And then you'd install typically your kitchen cabinets. Once your cabinets are in, you'd get your countertops installed at the same time. And then once the cabinets are in, you're going to start laying your flooring, and then you can cut them according to size around the cabinets. Once that stage is done, you're basically onto the finishing, final push essentially. So you're going to be doing your baseboards, you're going to be tiling your showers, you're going to be siliconing. This is when the property really starts to come together. At the same time, all the trades that you called early on, you're going to have to call them back once more. Again, let's go big to small. So you're going to go HVAC, plumber, and electrician. So you're going to call your HVAC person again. So all your ductwork that has been roughed in, they will install all the finishing trim. So your vents, your microwave hood fan, or your regular hood fan will get mounted and vented out outside the property. Your dryer vents get hooked up at this time. And then when your plumber comes back, all your sink drains, your faucets, everything's going to get, like once your cabinets are in, everything's going to get assembled. And then there'll be inspections again. There'll be final inspection for your HVAC, there'll be a final inspection for your plumbing. And likewise, once the electrician's done putting in all the lights, pot lights, necessary outlets and switches, there will be a final inspection for that as well. Once you're done the entire basement suite, the last and final step would be to call the city inspector who passed you on the rough-in. They're probably going to make another visit to come out to your property and give you the final okay. And this is when they would give you a slip called the permission to occupy. It's really this slip that you've been waiting for all along, which means now you're ready to rent out your basement suite and start generating some income.